The mountains were quiet. Too quiet for someone like her. Arya Sinclair stepped out of the black luxury SUV, her heels sinking slightly into the soft forest ground. Designer dress, diamond bracelet, a life of perfection. And yet, her eyes held something else. Restlessness. "This is ridiculous," she muttered. 3 days in the middle of nowhere? Behind her, a voice answered, calm, deep, controlled. "It's for your safety." She turned, and for a moment, everything paused. Ethan Cole, her newly assigned personal guard. Tall, broad-shouldered, rough in a way that didn't belong in her world. Or maybe exactly what her world had been missing. Safety from what? She asked, crossing her arms. Ethan didn't react, didn't smile. "From people who don't care how much money you have," he said simply. His voice was steady, unshaken. It irritated her. Everyone else treated her like glass. Fragile, untouchable, but not him. He looked at her like she was just human, and she didn't know whether she hated it or needed it. The cabin stood behind him. Simple, wooden, isolated in the heart of the forest. "This is where you'll stay," he added. Arya looked around. Mountains stretching endlessly. Trees whispering in the wind. No cameras. No parties. No noise. Just him. And that realization did something strange to her chest. "Do you always talk like a robot?" she said, trying to break the tension. Ethan finally looked at her properly. "If you always talk this much, it's going to be a long 3 days." Her lips parted slightly. Did he just... A small, unexpected smile formed on her face. "Careful," she said softly. "You're not supposed to talk to me like that." Ethan stepped closer. Not too close. Just enough to shift the air between them. "I'm not here to impress you," he said. A pause. "I'm here to protect you." Something in his tone was different. Not cold, not distant, but controlled. Like he was holding something back. And for the first time in a long time, Arya felt curious. Not about the mountains. Not about the trip. About him. That evening, the fire crackled inside the cabin. Arya sat wrapped in a blanket, staring into the flames. Ethan stood by the window, watching the darkness outside. Always alert, always distant. "Do you ever relax?" she asked quietly. "No." She smirked slightly. "Then I guess I'll have to change that." He didn't respond, but something in his posture shifted. Almost barely noticeable. The kind of shift that only happens when someone gets under your skin. And Arya felt it, because this wasn't just attraction. It was tension. The kind that builds slowly, dangerously, until it becomes impossible to ignore. Outside, the wind howled through the mountains. Inside, something else was beginning. Something neither of them was ready for. But both of them would soon be unable to resist. The forest grew darker as night fell. Too dark. Too quiet. Inside the cabin, the fire flickered softly. But something felt off. Arya Sinclair stood near the window, arms crossed. "Why does it feel like something's wrong?" she asked quietly. Across the room, Ethan Cole was already alert. Still. Focused. Listening. "Because it is," he said. Her heart skipped. "What do you mean?" Before he could answer, a sharp sound echoed from outside. Branches snapping. Footsteps. Too close. Ethan moved instantly. "Stay behind me." His tone left no room for argument. For the first time, she didn't argue. Another sound. Closer now. Ethan grabbed a flashlight, his other hand instinctively reaching back. Finding hers. "Don't let go," he said. Her breath caught. Not from fear, but from the way his hand held hers. Firm. Protective. Real. They stepped outside together. The cold mountain air hit instantly. The forest felt alive. Watching. "Who's there?" Ethan called out. Silence. Then, a shadow moved between the trees. Arya tightened her grip on his hand. "Ethan," she whispered. "I've got you," he replied. And for the first time, she believed it. The shadow disappeared. The forest went still again. After a long moment, Ethan exhaled slowly. "Probably nothing," he said, but his voice said otherwise. They turned to head back. But Arya didn't let go. Even when they were safe. Even when they were inside. Arya, he said softly. She looked up at him. Still close. Still holding on. I know, she whispered. But she didn't move. The firelight danced across their faces. And suddenly, the air felt heavier. Warmer. Why are you still holding my hand? He asked quietly. Her lips parted slightly. Because I don't feel safe when I'm not. Silence. That wasn't just fear. That was something deeper. Ethan's jaw tightened. You're making this difficult, he said. Good, she replied softly. Their eyes locked. And for a moment, everything else disappeared. The mountains, the danger, the world. All that remained was the space between them. And how quickly it was disappearing. Morning came, but nothing felt the same. The forest was quiet again. Peaceful. But inside the cabin, tension lingered. Arya stood outside on the wooden porch, staring at the endless mountains. She should feel calm. Instead, her heart was restless. Behind her, the door opened. Ethan stepped out. You shouldn't be out here alone, he said. She smiled faintly. I thought that was your job. He didn't respond. Instead, he walked closer. Not rushed. Not hesitant. Just drawn. You're not taking this seriously, he said. And you're taking it too seriously, she replied. A pause. Not everything has to be about control. That hit him, because control was the only thing keeping him from crossing a line. You don't understand, he said. Then make me understand, she whispered. Silence. The wind moved softly through the trees. Ethan stepped closer. Too close. You're my responsibility, he said. And you're just my guard, she replied. But her voice didn't sound convinced. Their eyes locked again. That same tension. Stronger now. Impossible to ignore. You should stay away from me, he said quietly. Why? Because he didn't trust himself. Because every moment near her made it harder to remember his place. Because this ends badly, he said. Arya took one small step closer. Then why aren't you walking away? That was it. The question he couldn't answer. The truth he didn't want to face. He didn't move. Couldn't. Her hand slowly lifted, resting lightly against his chest. His heartbeat was fast. Stronger than he expected. So, this is just part of your job? She whispered. Ethan exhaled slowly. No, he admitted. Silence. Because that one word changed everything. The distance between them vanished. Not rushed. Not forced. Just inevitable. Close enough to feel each other's breath. Close enough to lose control. But then, Ethan stepped back, breaking it. Not because he didn't want it, but because he wanted it too much. This can't happen, he said. Arya stared at him, hurt flickering in her eyes. Or you're just afraid it already is, she replied softly. He didn't answer, because deep down, she was right. And as the wind moved through the mountains, one truth became clear. This wasn't just attraction anymore. It was something dangerous, something real, something neither of them could stop. The storm came without warning. Dark clouds swallowed the mountains. Wind howled through the trees. Inside the cabin, tension finally broke. Arya Sinclair stood near the door. I'm leaving, she said. Ethan Cole turned instantly. You can't, he said firmly. I'm not your prisoner, she shot back. Lightning flashed. Thunder followed. You don't understand the danger, he said. No, she replied, voice shaking now. I understand something else. A step closer. You're not just protecting me anymore. Silence. The truth hung between them. Heavy. Unavoidable. Ethan's jaw tightened. Arya, say it, she whispered. The storm raged outside, but inside, everything went still. I can't, he said. Her heart broke just a little. Then I will, she said softly. She stepped closer. I don't want this to end when I go back, she admitted. That hit him harder than anything else, because this was never supposed to be real, but it was. Every moment, every look, every almost touch. Real. You deserve someone from your world, he said. I don't want my world, she replied. Another step. I want something real. Their eyes locked. And this time, neither of them looked away. The distance disappeared. Not fast, not rushed, but inevitable. Ethan reached for her, then stopped. One last chance to walk away, but she didn't move, didn't hesitate.
So he didn't either.
He pulled her into him,
Close. Real.
unavoidable. And in that moment, the storm outside didn't matter anymore, because something stronger had taken over. Not just attraction, but truth. I tried to stay away, he whispered. Aria's voice was soft against him. I know. A pause. But you didn't.
And neither did she.
The storm slowly faded, and when morning came, the mountains felt different, because two people who were never supposed to cross that line finally had, and nothing would ever be the same again.